All right, what's up, guys? Happy August. We're going to do a July recap, just talking about what's been going on in July. There's a lot to catch up on and talk about. And so we're back, daily check in videos, monthly check in videos, all the videos, because it's really important that I share the journey and share what's been going on. I've learned a lot over the last couple months. I've been slacking. This channel has traction, but the goal with this is to be able to look back on it. And there's a lot of shit that happened in July that I wish I could document and look back on because it's been a tough one. It has been a tough one. So I'm going to open my calendar actually and just look at July in terms of what the hell I had going on. So early July. Oh, that's a fun one, actually. Okay, that's a fun one. So, a couple different things in July. Early July, I got invited to be a part of this mastermind for a mastermind. A couple people are trying to acquire, I think they did, 300,000 to get $300,000 to buy this company that's getting sold, whatever. So, just being invited to that was weird, and then being a part of it was even weirder. I walk in, dudes scribbling on the freaking whiteboard. There's people sitting around this table. They're all like looking, they're all throwing out ideas. I'm like, this is dope. Like, this is the stuff I want to be a part of. And, threw in my 2 cents here and there. I don't know what they wanted me for. Maybe to film the pre mastermind. I didn't film anything. Maybe, honestly, for my opinions. I don't know. But it was cool. Really cool to be a part of that. These guys are awesome. They're super nice. And meeting them was great. So I don't know the levels of success of all of them, but I was down here. They're all up here. Then we had another test round before we actually did the thing. And there was even more people in there. This one guy was like, look, I get invited to stuff like this all the time. And if it's not worth 10 grand an hour, I don't do it. But this has been worth my time. I'm all, 10 grand an hour? Like, what the hell? I'm happy to make that in a freaking month. It's just so crazy. He's older. He's millionaire, obviously. So it's cool being around those people and getting introduced into those circles. Around this time, so this is early July that started to happen. Early July, late June, early July, I decided, hey, I'm holding firm at my new prices. Like I think I mentioned before, I want to be at about $4,000 a month. And I learned that that's possible and that other people are charging that and doing less than what I'm doing. So I think they're delivering less, but I think they're working more. So that means I already have a leg up there. But I was like, I'm going to hold firm. I already have like 7 to 8K coming in. So if I don't get anybody for a while, I'm fine with that. And then I didn't get anybody for a while. And I started stressing out because I'm like, shit, I need people. I just want to say yes. And there's so many people that I'll pitch at this that are like, okay, yeah, let me think about it, and then never hear from them, right? So I'm not a very good salesman, first of all. I need to get better at it. But that was a stressful thing that happened in July. I really didn't add any clients until the end of July, and it was only because I said, hey, my price is only this, and I'll let you get in for half price for the first month, and then we'll continue at that. Now, the two people that I added in July were for more than I've added anyone. So it's good, like it works, but I want to add people at 4K and do a lot less work and provide them just insane service. But that didn't happen. July was really slow. And part of the reason is that I slacked off. Those first few weeks of July, I wasn't super adamant about setting appointments. I wasn't super promotional. I just kind of chilled and laid back, went to different meetings, didn't do anything crazy. And then mid-July, I was like, dude, I'm about to be broke because I have a client at 3,000 a month that signed up early on. She's one of my first one at this price point. And now I don't offer that package anymore. I partnered with a marketing agency and we're offering it differently. But at this package, you're supposed to get short form, lots of short form videos for YouTube and some podcast stuff. Filmed, edited, posted, all of this for you. It's a lot. But at this price point, when I did this, I was only selling my stuff for 1,000. So I was like, shit, for 2 grand more, I could do this. Not bad. I was happy about it. For this client, we filmed one time. She's paid me 2 times. And to be fair, I bugged the whole time. I'm like, hey, when are we filming? When are we filming? Like, let's film. Here's the link. Don't forget, let's film. And it never happened. So we got into like Well, so anyway, what ultimately happened, I was like, hey, what's going on? Are we going to film? Like, just help me understand. And I was low key worried she's going to cancel. I needed the money at that point for sure. I mean, I would have been fine without it, but we paused from July to charge again mid August, okay? And so what happened is that money didn't come in July. So then I went from like 7 or 8 thousand a month down to 4 or 5 thousand a month. And that was a big whammy because I got a lot more expenses going on. So I did not expect that. One person who signed up in June didn't film until the beginning of July, and then he got charged again in July and said, "Hey, why did I get charged again?" So I just refunded that. So it was like 4 grand down in July, and I was like, "Shit." It was not good. And it goes back to like maybe I should be offering contracts, maybe like there's a lot I could just be like, no, hell no, you're locked in, like that's how it works. This is Netflix, baby. You use it or lose it. But I'm not like that. I just refund the money, like whatever. I don't care that much, and I do want to just take care of everybody and make sure that they're happy. So July was a struggling one. Towards the end of July, like I said, I set more meetings, got a little bit more niche down. Got a little distracted mid-July, and then towards the end refocused, got everything back. So that's what happened in there. I think I made 7 or 8 still because I did some one-off filming jobs and half a website, stuff like that. But it it was pretty stressful in there throughout July for sure. And one thing really cool happened in July. Well, let me look back at my calendar. Oh, so I had somebody call me that I talked to previously before my prices were at that owns a med spa, and I really want to work with somebody that owns a med spa. We set up a time to talk. We talked for a little bit, and she's like, "Well, I just want something different." And I'm like, "Okay, what does that mean?" And she's like, "Just different." And I'm like, "Well, help me understand what different means because that's different to everybody." She was so annoying. And then she's like, "Well, just like, I don't know. We used to have somebody in California that would highlight different areas of the body or what." And I'm like, "What the fuck?" So when we talked a few months ago, I sent a couple examples. They weren't great examples, and I didn't have many examples to choose from. And she didn't choose me, and that's fine. Literally, that's fine. And then when I moved my price, I was like, "Hey, moving my prices. If you want to get it at this price, I'll do that for you. Let me know." She's like, "I'll contact you if I'm interested. Bye." And I'm like, what the hell? So anyway, here we are a few months later, hop on the phone, and I'm like, "Hey, we've talked before." And she's like, "Oh, really?" Like I couldn't remember. I'd talked to a lot of people. And I'm like, "Yeah." So, what were you looking for? She's like, "Oh, well, your stuff wasn't different." I'm like, "Oh, God, here we go." But what ultimately happened was we had this conversation, and I kind of got annoyed because she didn't know what she wanted for one, and has no idea how I do things, even after explaining it. Maybe I need to explain better. Um, but then she started saying like, "Well, I remember you saying like you raised your prices, and that was kind of weird to me." And I'm like, "Yeah, well now they're 3 times what they were when I raised them, so it's probably a little out of budget." And then she's like, "Because look, if you're bitching about the price, and you're bitching about me raising the price initially, and then I raise it again, it's probably out of budget." So I said that, and I didn't mean it as like a dickish thing to say. But then she's like, "With the reviews you have, I'm surprised that you would say that. Goodbye," and then hung up. And I'm like, "Wow, that was weird." It was a bizarre thing. You know what also happened in July was a lot of people were like, "Oh yeah, like that's good." I think I probably got 2 people to say yes at 4 grand. They start the first month at 2, then 4 grand, and then ghost, ghosted. And if I was more Alex Hermosi, I would have closed them. I would have got them in, but I'm not. So we're working on that. We're working on that. Um, Well, and I guess I'd say that's about all. Uh, all really exciting that happened in July. A few cool partnerships, a few things in the pipeline. We'll see how that carries over for August and what that looks like in August. But overall, July was cool. And that's the business side of things that happened in July. I went to a networking event. It's probably late July. Let me see. It's a Wednesday. Yeah, it might have been. Mid July. I was sitting there. I was charging my car. Yeah, it was. It was the 17th. I went to a networking event in July, on the 17th, and this server there came up while I was talking to somebody, and hey, can I get you water or get you anything? I'm like, water, please, that would be amazing. And then I went to refill my water, and she's super cool, and we like ended up talking for a long time, and I was like, oh, this is cool. Like, we talked for a long time. I told this guy I was leaving, and then I didn't leave. We just talked and talked, and she's really cool, pretty cute, but super cool. And my whole thing, you guys know, like with my ex months ago, I'm like, dude, fuck that. I'm not doing that again. I'm focusing on my work. I'm doing this. And this girl is really cool. So I was like, oh, here's my number. Like, if you want to either come to networking events, because she mentioned that, I was like, I'll invite you if you want to, whatever, hang out, let me know. And she texted me that same night. So we talked a lot, and she was super cool. Talked throughout the next week, hung out a lot, and it was really weird because most people that I meet and hang out with are like very draining on my energy. They're very demanding of my time. Nothing's good enough. Like, they just take, it feels like. But this one was different. I felt very energized when we hung out, and she was very thoughtful, and I liked it. We went to the gym together. We were super. It was great. And I was like, I said I wouldn't date anybody, but I would date this one. So that's like in my head. And then you guys wouldn't fucking believe it. Like, I don't know, a week and a half in, she just starts getting distant. So it's me. I'm the problem. Just kidding. I don't know. She's like, well, work's getting super busy. I'm focusing a lot on that. And I'm like, okay. We're very similar in that. Like, I do the same thing and then I just ghost people. But I also do that when I'm not that interested. So I don't know. We'll see. She's very blunt. So I feel like she would tell me if she wasn't. But no, we're not talking. And it's sad because I really like this one. Really like this one. So that's a bummer. July could have been pretty great. Now it's not. But anyway, I got to update you guys on the love life. Other than that, I think that's all that really happened in July. Should have made 10K, didn't make 10K, was super broke. Added a couple clients on at the end of July for um, a decent price point, but now I need to stay firm. 4K. And if they can't afford it, like I was talking to Jermel earlier today, and it's like, look, if I can't afford an iPhone, right? I don't go into Apple and say, oh yeah, I want an iPhone because it's going to make my life easier. And then they're like, okay, it's $1,000. I'm like, ooh, I can't afford that. Oh, that's kind of a lot. And it's like, oh, okay, that sucks. Come back when you have the money. And that's how I need to be with my services, because honestly, the people that I'm doing content for, they're getting crazy results. Like, crazy results. Way better than most people who are doing what I do. Way, way, way better. They're getting good results. And I know that. I need to promote it better. I need to talk about it better. And I need to hold firm on the pricing and then just be done with that. So that's the goal for this month. Set the price, stick to the price, communicate the value, and hold out on it. Work closely with what I have, document stuff, start putting out that content. And I want to get one client at 4K this month. It's going to happen, just one. And then see how that goes. See what the churn is on it, because I know that that's a bigger expense. But the amount of work for the amount of income, at that price, it's scalable. At any other price, it gets very hard to scale. So I need to do that. I need to make it work. And that is the goal for August. We're 1 week into August, so wish me lots of luck. But anyway, that's the check-in. Yeah, July check-in. So we'll see you guys.